Traders, hello, Mike Katz here with 7 Points Capital, bringing you today's trader takeaways of Friday, going into the weekend. And the SPYs actually had a kind of quiet day, still holding up. So looking at the big picture here, we can see we're still in this consolidation, but we're heading higher and higher towards the upper range. Made a higher high here, and we have this trend line that we kind of got above and held. So it wasn't like a big blockbuster day with a lot of follow through or a lot of volume, but considering we've been up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, and just having a small body day with lower volume and kind of taking a breather is not the worst thing. Even if it pulls back and holds 270, that'd still be all right, I think. But market still has kind of a bit underneath it. What I'm watching here on the bigger time frame, on the 15 rather than the 1 minute, is basically that we have this lift here from 265 and also from 260. Basically we got this trend line, and then the more intermediate one is this one. So we're kind of testing things here, but still holding up, and I'll be watching those trend lines. What else? So what was in play today? I didn't trade any spiders, but I was really focused on SYMC. This one has been really good to us in the past on earnings, and today was no exception. SYMC, they gapped down, they made money, so it's not a complete garbage stock. They actually beat by a little bit, but the headline was that their auditors are investigating their books, and that didn't sit well with investors. Dropped big pre-market, and basically the biggest move was pre-market, to be honest, but there was some good follow through. The reason I love trading SYMC is because there is a lot of liquidity. We traded over 100 million shares today. The quote is very thick. There were times when there was 50 or 100,000 on either side, and that makes it for a really great stock for us because we can trade big, and we can trade big in a stock that has range. Now, it might not look like a lot of the move happened overnight, yes, pre-market, yes, but even if we zoom into just regular market hours, it's still a dollar range on a stock that trades 100 million shares and has decent moves. So this was a pretty good one, and initially it was just get short right on the open. Actually, let's look at this, my executions here. A lot of executions, and here, let's zoom in here. So initially it was that's not going to look like what I wanted to show. Let's see. So basically get short on the open, and this is a type of stock that I have a lot of executions. Some of them might be small, just to get a feel for how easy it is for me to buy and sell. So I might send out a feeler order, buy a couple thousand shares just to see how it fills. If it fills very easily in different trading venues, then I know that the sellers are still pretty heavy, and then I'll back off and let it keep working. So get short early, liquidity's there, try some covers, easy, hence get more aggressive, cover a little bit right there, and you guys get the idea. As long as it's easy for me to buy, then I'm looking to continue to short and ride the wave to the downside. And then when it gets sharp and parabolic to the downside, the slope picks up. I do some covering, and then I feel my way around again, see when I want to try to get back in. So that's basically what it is. There was a nice bounce here. It's a pretty big bounce from 1890 up to 20, and 20 was a big figure, right? $20, and also it was kind of the morning lows here, and that was going to serve as resistance. So when we got close to that spot there, I was able to get bigger and add back a lot of my earlier covers, and that worked out well, where I was able to write it down and continue to let it work. And here I was thinking, you know what, we had a bounce off of 19, we went higher and back, and now we're going down. At this point I have half position on, and it's looking like it's just starting to flag sideways. If I'm long, I'm not happy. If I'm short, I'm like, yay, this thing can barely bounce, right? And it did a little bit of some pops here, and I just tried to let it work and see if it can get this to, basically my target was 18 for today. So once we broke 20, I thought on the daily, there was on the monthly, actually I had to go back and see, there was a level on there, and I was targeting 18. So here I got bigger, and the liquidity being really big, at times having 50 or 100,000 shares on the offer, it's easy for me to, you know, punch out and get out of the trade if it doesn't work. And that's pretty much what I saw here. Now, why, you might say, why I punched out here and got flat. And what I want to talk about here is this print right here, this print at $19 right here for 1.5 million shares was a sign for me that the selling pressure could be over. And this is a cleanup print. Let's see, I'm probably not going to have time to go into what a cleanup print is, but maybe I'll mention it in another video. Cleanup print, just basically that the seller might be done. When I saw that print over there, I kind of figured this thing can pop now, that the selling pressure might be off. And that's what I did here. I just got flat really fast, and then we got a nice pop from there. Let's see. Yep, we got a nice pop from there, and then we got rejected at 20. So I got flat, and then right here when we started looking toppy again on the 15, sorry to go back and forth with these charts, but hey, it's even harder to trade on two different charting systems. But anyway, right here I thought maybe volume anomaly, 15-minute, more volume came in than the previous bar, smaller body, sellers are stepping in. So I put a starter position on here versus above 20, and basically when it started going higher, I didn't add anymore. I said, okay, it's just a starter, let's see how it behaves if it gets to 20. Well, it did get quite a bit on. It did a little bit over under at 20, and I was going to get out if it got above 2011 and 2021. I was going to take it off, but I got really good sizing there, and basically was able to let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so all right, this is not going to make it easy, just wasting time. You guys can see what's going on here. Covered on the washes, and now I'm trading off of 20. A lot traded here at 20, so I'm using 20 as a guide, and every time it's going to pop I want to get short and cover into the washes. And I'm still thinking this thing can get to 19. It did not end up doing it, but on the close I positioned myself in a way where I felt I was really you know, high conviction that this thing was going to drop hard to 19, because it got rejected here a couple of times. This one before the ad at 20. So this is the starter position we talked about. Got much bigger here and covered into the washes, and then started scaling back in. And here my conviction was getting much higher that we're going to drop, and I felt that we're going to drop at least to 19, but it didn't really materialize. So I worked my way out of it going into the close. Very liquid stock. Love trading these types of names, you know, in the teens, 15, 20 bucks, lots of volume, thick quote, has a catalyst, and SSR. Love these things. If we had one of these a day, it would be fantastic. All right, let's move on. Nvidia was a nail and bell. I was really interested in buying the scoop to 250. So on the daily here, we can see that 250 was resistance. We broke out of it and now dipped back into it. 250, I was looking to scoop up some shares, and too bad I didn't get the fill. So here I was bidding closer to 250 and ended up going to 250 spot 56 or something like that. So I didn't get a fill. So when I saw that it's turning up and not coming back down, I tried to buy it here at 251, missed the trade, and then it just took off without me. And it could have been a really home run type of a day if I was able to get those fills I wanted. But what are you going to do? So Nvidia, I didn't get the fills I wanted, but later on it's set up with a, maybe we'll go to 2-minute chart, make it easier. Yeah, so here I couldn't get the fills and basically started going sideways and holding, and it looked like it was gonna take off again. So I chased it a little bit, got in, added more here, sold a tiny bit, added it back, and then was able to sell here at 258. Target was 260, sold some there, and then the rest as it started topping out, putting in the backside, and I was done with it. So this was basically a one-time thing for me, and once the momentum was gone, I was done. I didn't want to try to get back in. So Nvidia was great, and here was a really good stock for us, and a lot of people are getting hurt. So before I talk about here, let's chat about what's going on in small cap world. Blink, BLNK, took off. You guys could see day one, day two, barely pulled back and took off again. So shorts aren't happy. There's a lot of that going on. Intelstat is a symbol that's been really hurting the shorts from 4 all the way to 14. Say, a lot of them here, and we can continue to mention more, but here is also one of them. And this thing took off, and it's not as trashy as some of the other names we trade. They make money. They don't have any filings. They have a decent sized float. They have a real product. They have, if I'm not mistaken, 50 million in sales. So it's a real company. Maybe it's not a blue chip company, but it's a real company. So this one has been in a void for us on the short side because it didn't score well for us on our scorecard that we use to score some of these shorts. So this one has been taken off, and we've been very cognizant of what's going on here, just waiting for spots. It gapped up yesterday. Looked like the top might be in, and it went even crazier today. So this was yesterday, closed week, and then took off again today. So the idea here is that if the imbalance is to the upside, if the shorts are unhappy, we want to try to get long and join the trend. Well, how do you do that? Sometimes you might have to chase, and that's exactly what I did here. So here, that's what I did here and here. All right, here we go. So let's look at here. This thing went up, and at this point I'm thinking I want to get long. It's holding well. 15 is a big level on the longer term charts, and I was looking for a move up and then a pullback for a higher low. I couldn't get it, so I couldn't start in with the size I wanted, but I had to chase here just to get in. Added more when it held well, it consolidated, it went to 15, did a couple over unders, held really well, pulled back, held above 15, and then bam, took off again. So this was a nice trade. Sold some here, here, and the rest there, and I was done with it. Got parabolic. On this parabolic move, a lot of times I'll get short when volume comes in. This could have been one of those setups, but the conditions we're in now with these small caps really ripping off the faces of some of these shorts, and really hurting quite a bit of smaller traders that might not have the best risk management, or might be doing an ad all the way up. They're getting hurt. So my thinking right now is I'm still going to be very careful, not swinging anything on the short side in small cap land until things die down, and that's why I passed on the short trade. But this was good. And quickly move on to Netflix. That was a nice one. Weakest one, weaker one than most of these symbols in the high beta tech world. Nvidia was strong, Apple, Facebook, all those guys, and this was weak on the daily. This is near all-time highs. It ran up quite a bit last 5-6 days, and then getting rejected by all-time highs here, was just not really holding that well. So when I saw that, I wanted to get in on the short side, and I started here versus here, thinking that double bottom, double top. If this ends up being a lower high, I can risk off of here and get decent size because it stopped so close. When it started working and getting lower and lower highs, I added some more. I was really banking on this thing washing out hard to 320. So I was looking for another 5 points in this. So I didn't do any covering here. I ended up covering it all here and ended up making a little bit. So that was okay. Potentially could have been a home run trade. And one loser for me was EXEL. I lost money in this yesterday, lost money in it today. Just not a lot, but just not treating me well. And let's see, EXEL. Earnings, was it earnings? I forget what it was yesterday. It was down yesterday, closed week. I couldn't make money in it. I was short early and got stopped out when it went high of day, took it off, and then it went through the unwind. So today I had more conviction to stay with it and not stop out, but it didn't matter. There was no unwind into the close, so I closed out here and was done with that one. So overall, a nice day on the desk, great trades, a lot of stocks in play, but earnings are starting to slow down, and market-wise, less going on. We'll see what next week brings. Lots of names are moving in a way where if it's got a day one or a day two, you could get some action in it and then move on. And nail and bail today was working, and that's it. So just really looking for best setups, do a little bit, and wait for those A+ setups. All right, I'm going to be quiet now and move on. Have a great weekend, everyone. Mike Katz, 7 Points Capital, with today's Trader Takeaways.